Ladybird Book of The Sickie. There are lots of reasons not to go to work. Perhaps you're ill, or perhaps you're pretending to be ill so you can spend the day with your robots. Henry is suffering from a mysterious but symptomless 24-hour virus that can only be treated with fresh air. He would not want any of his work colleagues to catch it, so he's staying as far away from them as possible. Lawrence and Ben are enjoying a bout of imaginary food poisoning. Food poisoning is always good, because it's over quickly, and nobody likes to hear stories about toilets. When Jesse gets home from a very big party, he phones his manager and leaves a message. Now he does not have to get up early to call in sick. Calling the office at 3:07 a.m. is exactly what someone with a real cold would do, Jesse thinks to himself as he falls asleep on his stairs with a kebab for a pillow. A sickie will always seem more convincing if you can get a note from a doctor or last rites from a priest. Gary has had a cold coming on all week at work. Sniff, 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 sniff. People are starting to suspect he's trying to get Friday off for a long weekend. Gary needs to up his game. Gary's next sneeze is going to end in a frightening, snapping noise. An apple a day keeps the doctor away, but eating nothing but apples is a good way of inducing strategic diarrhea. Sasha cannot go to work today because she's sick. She's particularly sick of Kizzy in the office going on about this new Danish mini-series about soaking wet yachtsmen. When Sasha's seen all 12 episodes, she'll probably be well enough to go back to work. Gregor phones the office to tell him he cannot come in for his appraisal today because he has found himself transformed in his bed into a gigantic insect. Gregor is frankly trying his luck. On 14th of November 1939, British Naval Commander Sir Gideon Beauchamp sent a telegram to the Admiralty complaining of a dicky tummy. 5 years later, he was spotted celebrating VE Day in Trafalgar Square, court-martialed and shot. It remains the most successful sickie of the war. Carrie's husband Mick has got so far into bed that she cannot find him. "Come on, Mick, it's just a cold," says Carrie. "Where are you?" The mattress coughs. The boys are worried. Uncle Tony has not moved for 2 hours. He will make a miraculous recovery shortly after the Christmas washing up has been done, and just in time for The Spy Who Loved Me. Oh, that old codger again. This state-of-the-art telephone processing centre is installed in the HR department of a national supermarket chain. It can cope with sickie volumes of up to 40 calls per minute during the World Cup, Six Nations Rugby, or the first day it's really cold after the clocks go back. So far, Ryan has been forced to miss a team building day and a mindfulness seminar due to unexpected penknife injuries at work. Ryan hopes that his firm does not schedule any other pointless waste of his precious time, because he's fast running out of ears. Gemma had an essay to hand in this morning. She started it yesterday and managed one paragraph before giving up and watching Pointless. Pointless is on again in a few hours. Gemma is studying philosophy at Trinity College, but she might switch to media studies, so she can justify staying in bed and watching so much Pointless. Ghislaine has taken the day off work with a serious illness. He has a bad headache, listlessness, nausea, dizziness, dry mouth, feverish sweats, and blotchy skin. Ghislaine quietly gives thanks to Wikipedia that the symptoms of Lyme disease so conveniently match the symptoms of 11 pints of Belgian fruit cider. Navin is having terrible trouble getting out of bed this morning. Morgan spent the whole journey to the rock festival reading up the symptoms for norovirus in case his line manager phoned and asked where he was. He has thought about norovirus so hard that he's now convinced he has norovirus. Morgan has to admit that the hot sweats and hallucinations are spoiling Fleetwood Mac. Charlie told his line manager he was going to the funeral of his Uncle Nigel, when he was, in fact, watching the men's single final at Wimbledon. But to his horror, he found out Uncle Nigel and his line manager are members of the same choir. He's having to lure Uncle Nigel into the cellar, where he will be kept until Charlie can find a new job. This term time holiday was the only one David could afford. David is not happy about training his boys to lie without blinking, or that they are missing out on their education. But maybe they can find careers as actors, or politicians. Her boss may have called her bluff, but Verna still counts this as one of her better sickies. It's at least a week off, she says to herself, and I've always got the other kidney. Your dad says he can't take jungle climbers because he has rinderpest, reads Paula. Rinderpest is a viral infection of cows and warthogs, which was eradicated globally in 2001. Paula says looking for where Dad is hiding will be nearly as much fun as jungle climbers. Umsk does not want to go on the bear hunt. He wants to stay tucked up in his furs watching a new fire he's really into. His wife Umska does not believe he is sick. She has insisted on calling Elder Poobab and his healing sticks. Umsk is working out which made-up symptoms will not make Elder Poobab drill a hole in his head. Oh, good grief. Simon has taken the day off because it is raining. Being rained on is technically an assault occasioning actual bodily harm, he says to his superior. Simon loves being a barrister. The end.